Indeed, we have reached that point, the world-famous, internationally recognized, and idol of millions, the lightning round, if you will, 1-877 Newsmax. Few things we've talked about. Ted Cruz says that he is in for the distance, even though some people now say they are not going to back him. His backing seems to be eroding, certainly in Indiana and around the country. Bill Kristol says that he wants to name Mitt Romney, Marco Rubio as third-party challengers to Donald Trump. Donald Trump said China is going to rape America, and quite frankly, a lot of people are upset about that, and I think they should be, because I think that was a poor choice of words that he should be held accountable for. And Donald Trump now also says he can win without the Republican Party. He says, basically, some people, I don't want their endorsement. 877 Newsmax. Cecil E. in Texas, you're next up on the hard line. Hey, Cecil.
Hello, Ed. Ed, I need to tell you first off, I voted for Ted Cruz back in March, and I have regretted that vote ever since.
Why?
Well, all that Ted Cruz has done ever since that time has just gotten vindictive and spiteful. And I just say, hey, this is not the same guy that I voted for.
How's he been vindictive and spiteful? Because most people would say that Trump is the guy who's the nasty one. You're saying that Ted Cruz is the nasty one.
Trump is arrogant, is like he's always been. Trump is not any different than he's always been. He calls him lying Ted. I heard Ted Cruz a while ago. He told some protesters that Donald Trump will take away our Second Amendment rights. Donald Trump has never gone against the Second Amendment.
It is fair to say, I'll tell you what, Cecil, that whether it's Ted Cruz, Donald Trump, but certainly you could couldn't you really put lying in front of every politician at one time or another and basically say they all lie?
Well, in a sense, yes, but I'm going to tell you one thing about Donald Trump. If you'll go to every and I didn't vote for Ted, I voted for Ted, not Donald.
Right.
But if you will go and research every employee Donald Trump has got ever worked for him, you'll be hard-pressed to ever find a single employee that will ever badmouth him.
I can tell you that I know some people who've worked for him, and they won't badmouth him. They're afraid to say anything at all. Real quick, are you going to vote for Trump now?
Yes, sir, I am.
There you go. All right. Cecil, thanks a lot for the call. George S. is in Florida. He's next up on the hard line. Hello, George.
Hi, Ed. Thanks for taking the call. Just want to let you know I have a lot of respect for you. You seem to be a very fair and honest man.
Thank you very much, and I'm so glad that you remember my family. No, just kidding whatsoever. Go right ahead.
Well, I have one area that I like the way you agree to disagree respectfully, and we may not agree on this, but I like Mike Tyson, and I'll tell you why. And
make it short.
I'm a Christian.
Okay.
And I believe that Mike Tyson, he did his time, right? And that we're a nation of forgiving people, and Christians believe in second chances, and this guy has shown ultimate humility in his life since. You should watch the Hangover movies and maybe try to look at things through his eyes.
I have. Come on, I'm a man under 120. We've all seen the Hangover movies. You're right. I get it. I get it. But wouldn't you? But I agree. I hear what you're saying, George, and the fact that you're a Christian, you want to forgive, which is certainly the Christian way of do things. You're right. He did serve his time. There's no doubt about it. But don't you think that still rubs, especially in Indiana, where the rape happened, that might be the wrong thing to say?
Well, I can only tell you this much. I can tell you this much. That guy could take home 10 willing girls any night. And that we now know many years later, people don't always tell the truth, and they have different motivations. I'm not going to question what happened then, but I do know this much. Many people have been accused for things they didn't do. He's sucked it up.
I'll tell you what, George, he doesn't bring it up because I know Mike's people very well. He doesn't want to bring it up because he wants to bury it. But you're right. There are people who forgive him. I think that's very admirable, George, because we do need to be a little bit more of a forgiving community. George, thanks so much for joining us. Sandra E., I got about 90 seconds left. You're in Utah, and you're up on the hard line.
Hi, Ed. Thank you for taking my call. I just wanted to say that all these people go out and promise, that they want a national minimum wage of $15, and I just want to make the point that whatever you move the minimum wage to becomes the new poverty line. So you're actually creating more poor people by forcing a mandatory minimum wage than if you let the free market take care of
Okay,
it.
then let's do this then. Let's bring it back to where we all started today, and we started on Trump, Cruz, politics, everything in the primary right now. I'll give you 30 seconds here. Tell me who you think out of all of these candidates is the best person to deal with the economy right now that you believe is going to make your life and my life better.
Donald Trump.
Why?
Because he's the only one that has created jobs, and I am sick of having lawyers in the White House.
He has also put people out of work, by bankruptcies, that puts people out on the street.
Well, everybody takes risks, but he keeps going.
Okay,
He keeps
good.
trying, and he changes.
All right. See, you know something, Sandra, and that's if you want to vote for him, that's marvelous. But it always helps to at least talk about the whys, which is what we all need to do instead of just making statements. And I appreciate you doing that because on this show, we will ask the whys and the wherefores instead of just taking things as a statement. Thanks so much for calling. All right, now, what better way to begin the week than a trip to Outland? It's where the special people reside. Oh, trust me in this one. It's a great way to start the week on the Hard Line.